فاقد الشيء لا يعطيه. We have this saying in our culture that means one cannot give what one does not have. Now you see, this applies to everything in our lives, including empathy. Because in order for us to truly connect with someone, we must first connect with something in ourselves that knows that feeling. And now by no means am I an empathy expert, but I'm simply someone who's been curious about how I can be more empathetic towards the people that I love. So today I want to share with you a few things that I've been doing and hopefully they can help you out. And now in very simple terms, my definition of empathy is to try to make someone feel heard, seen, and understood, without making them feel like they're a burden. And I know that might sound so simple, but like I've said before, simple does not mean easy. Now, before we talk about how to be more empathetic, let's first differentiate between empathy and sympathy. And now, honestly, Brené Brown has the perfect video where she describes the difference between sympathy and empathy. And I'll put the link down below if you want to check out the video. But Brené Brown gives an example of someone sitting at the bottom of a well and they're mentally in a bad place. Now, sympathy is seeing your friend at the bottom of the well in a mentally bad place and telling them, oh, I feel bad for you that you're at the bottom of the well, but look how nice it is to be up here. Whereas empathy is going down the well and sitting with your friend to try to make them feel seen, heard, and understood. When people are going through a rough time, they don't want someone to tell them, oh, look how nice it is when you start feeling happy and joyful, or oh, at least you don't have it as bad as these other people, or at least this didn't happen, at least that didn't happen. No. People want you to sit with them. To sit with them and to try to understand how it is that they feel. And if there's one thing I want you to remember from this whole YouTube video, it's what I'm about to say right now. In order to truly be empathetic with someone else, you must first start to learn how to be empathetic with yourself. And now why do I say this? Remember the example I just gave about sitting with someone at the bottom of a well when they're not in a good place? If you've never sat with yourself when you were at the bottom of the well, then you will never truly understand what it feels like to be at the bottom of the well. And now I'm not saying that as soon as you start to be more empathetic with yourself, you're going to magically be more empathetic with everyone else. But all I'm saying is that, similar to what I said at the beginning of the video, in order to truly connect with someone, you must first connect with something in yourself that knows that feeling. Now, if you have a friend of yours who's telling you, I'm going through a very tough time, I feel very sad, all these things have happened to me. Now, if you've never sat down with yourself and dealt with these things when they've happened to you, then how will you truly be able to sit with someone and help them go through the emotions if you've never went through them yourself? Whenever you find yourself being in a bad place or not feeling so good about yourself, sit with yourself at the bottom of the well and ask yourself, why do I find myself here? And be curious. Don't judge yourself when you're at the bottom of the well. And the more you practice how to be more empathetic with yourself when you're at the bottom of the well, the better you will be at trying to be empathetic with the people that you love in your life. And now another thing that's helped me tremendously with empathy is that I stopped always trying to give advice. Now, I talked about this in my last video, but honestly, it's so important for us to remember this. When we sit with someone at the bottom of the well, they don't want advice unless they ask for it. But if no one has asked for advice, sit and listen and try to make them feel heard. And then after that person has released all what's on their mind, you can then simply suggest, would you like me to share some advice? And then you put the ball in their court. Now, I'm the kind of person that struggles with the silence, so I always try to jump and give advice. But something that's helped me out so much is when I tell the person, honestly, I don't know what to tell you right now, but I'm really glad you told me. And now this is something I also learned from Brené Brown, and it's so powerful because most of the time people want a safe space where they can share their thoughts. Like I said before, they're not necessarily looking for advice. They're merely looking for a safe space where they can share what's on their mind. And again, the more empathetic we are with people, the more they will feel safe to share whatever it is that's on their mind. And now, something else that really helps me work on my empathy is when I started to see empathy as a skill that can be developed by a series of actions. You know how we go to the gym to make our muscles bigger and more developed? It's the exact same thing with empathy. We want to go to our mental gym to make the empathy muscle bigger. The more you work on your empathy, the better you will be at having more empathy with your friends and, more importantly, yourself. And there are many ways to develop the skill of empathy. But like I said earlier in the video, and from my own personal experience, the most thing that will help you develop the skill of empathy is when we start to have the courage to feel the emotions for ourselves. Because how can you truly relate to someone, or how can you truly relate to how someone is feeling if you've never sat with that feeling with yourself? So the more you observe the emotions that come up for yourself, and the more you try to understand these emotions, the better you will be at having more empathy with others, because you will know what it feels like to feel that emotion, or you will at least have a better understanding of how it feels like to feel that emotion. And like we said, like probably 1,000 times in this video, in order to truly connect with someone, you must first connect with something in yourself that knows that feeling. So for you to be able to truly relate to someone and to be able to sit with them, you must first try to understand that feeling for yourself. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed our conversation and that I've given you a few things to think about. Honestly, this topic of empathy is so important. It's important with our friends, with our family, with our loved ones, in the workplace, and most importantly, with ourselves. And like I always say, this is the Debo's way. Find your own way. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and I hope to see you soon. Peace!